All right, so my next review is of obviously the Avengers. It's the last of this first wave of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Um, to start off, I'm not gonna say too much about it because I mean it's kind of like the Dark Knight, and trying to explain what's so good about it, but being original is really hard. So it's gonna be a short video for the most part, but I'll just kind of tell about my story of seeing it and stuff. I work at a movie theater, or I did work at a movie theater, and so I was able to see it for free at midnight. Um, I saw it, I loved it. Um, but the one thing I regretted was I wish I saw it more than once before I left the theaters. So I had a problem, remembering certain things, and luckily I found a way to. I didn't do it, but I know somebody who did. Found a way to bootleg it, and I was able to rewatch it. And I apologize too if I'm sniffing a lot. I have really bad allergies, but so I just recently watched it a couple days ago, and I think what makes this movie so great is that, for one, it wasn't supposed to really work. It's nothing like this has ever worked before, where you're able to make so many movies, put them all together into a team movie. If you split those two up, how many movies have been able to have all of these people in it, and really make it balanced, really make it so every character has their own spotlight, every character is really interesting. And I thought it was cool how they were able to, you didn't have to know exactly who this person was. You didn't have to know exactly who this person was, because it was all told within, the other movies. So I loved it, and I thought the one thing is it's not that you know original of a story. I mean, it's just a take over the world story, but that's the point. And I think that's what made it so successful, was that it was the one that it felt like a comic book. What I said about what I've decided on the three superhero movies that came out this summer. I can't really say which one's my favorite. I have before, but I still can't really decide. I'm still kind of going back and forth. And I think the reason is they're all different, and they're all good in different ways. The Dark Knight Rises was really just a superhero's, mind study. It's like dwelling into this idea of a superhero and really telling for the most part, an original story and trying to make it as real as possible. With The Amazing Spider-Man, since it was a reboot, it was also kind of meant for, it's kind of the one in between The Dark Knight and The Avengers. I kind of say it's like a modern comic book come to life. It's very, it feels a lot like a comic book, but it doesn't feel like, an old 60s comic book, which is what The Avengers feels like. The Avengers feels like a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby comic book come to life. That's exactly what it feels like, and that's what's so great about it, and I think that's why so many people have loved it so much, because it reminds them of their childhood, and that's what's so great about it. The Amazing Spider-Man, it feels like kind of a modern comic book, where it's telling these same stories, but the feel's different. It feels more modern. It feels more, and I mean, the Avengers does that too, but that wasn't their purpose and their goal in the movie. Their goal was to make it kind of feel like a 60s comic book, but not campy or anything. Just the feel of reading the comic book, because the comic books weren't really that campy, unless you get to like the 50s Batman stuff. But yeah, I think it's a really, I think that's what makes it so great. Sorry. I don't know. I really don't have much more to say about it. I'll have to re-review it maybe after I see it, again, because there's so much in it. But I just can't believe that they're able to take so many different directors, so many different actors, so many different stories. Iron Man already had 2 movies, and able to put them all together and make it a successful movie. I mean, I always hate it when they make too many villains in a movie. Case in point, Batman and Robin, where they had so many villains that I feel like, along with the campiness, that just made it not fun. And Spider-Man 3 did the same thing. They were able to do this and really just make it all entertaining. And that's what's made it one of the highest grossing superhero movie of all time.